from Southern Maryland's weather leader. This is a JB Weather Alert.
Hello and good evening. I'm Forecaster John Bordash with you here in the Storm Center this evening, continuing to track everything going on across the region, the threat of scattered storms throughout the evening, which is going to be something we're going to be tracking across the region. I think everyone has at least a pretty good likelihood to see some rain in some form. Some of us are seeing some severe storms. Granted, I don't think that'll be everyone, but we'll get into it here in just a second. And I see that Anthony says he can hear me just fine, which is awesome. So let's get into the latest information right now, the latest warnings we have right now, what we're tracking. Then I'll take you through Futurecast and what we're talking about for the rest of this evening going into tonight. So we have two active warnings right now. The first of which is going to be here in western parts of Charles County. And actually, now that I think of it, I don't think... sorry, I'm just now realizing I typed Eastern and not Western on the Facebook post for this, so let me change that quick. But yeah, so right now we do have this severe thunderstorm warning in effect for western parts of Charles County as well as parts of Prince William and Stafford County. This warning goes until 7 o'clock, so this is really from about 301 points west. A severe thunderstorm at around 6:12, so about 15 minutes ago, was located over Quantico, moving east at 15 miles an hour. That storm has now slowly worked its way here across the Potomac, getting into Nanjemoy. So this is slowly going to be kind of rolling through western Charles County here, coming through Route 6, affecting Nanjemoy and Welcome, Port Tobacco, Pittsca, Indian Head, Pomfret. I'm sure you're hearing the thunder out there, plenty of lightning with this storm, and this storm has the potential to put down a decent amount of rain rather quickly. Our other warning, kind of on the outer skirts of our coverage area, is going to be up here in northern PG and northern Anne Arundel counties. This warning here goes until 7:15. At 6:24, a severe thunderstorm was located over Laurel, moving northeast at 25 miles an hour. So you can see the general theme here is for these storms to really be moving slowly. What I want to show you here now is this Futurecast. Timing everything out, you can see that it has those storms coming across the Potomac into our region here over the next few hours. So we're probably going to see a few rounds of storms. We've been talking about this much of today. The first round is probably going to be between about now through about, we'll call it 9 or 10 o'clock. Let me show you here on Futurecast. I see a lot of people asking about their backyard. So again, pick out where you are there on the Futurecast, got the map up. So you can see we have storms pushing through over the next couple of hours, right? So we have storms pushing through by about midnight. So over the next 6 hours or so, we're going to be fair game to see rain. We could see embedded areas of thunderstorms leading to flash flooding. And I really do think that threat of flash flooding is going to be higher than the severe risk. We do have a pretty, right now we have a few severe thunderstorm warnings right now. That severe threat this afternoon and evening really sits at about 5% and is really only at that 5% peak before sunset. I think this evening we're still going to be talking thunderstorms, but the potential for them to become severe is going to be diminished a touch. Not zero, but diminished. But that threat of flash flooding is going to be high, especially for those that come through the region. So let's go ahead and push this back into motion. You can see midnight here beginning to push on out. A little bit of a break, but then we get in here towards 3, 4, 5 o'clock. We see another round of storms push on through. Again, this might try to be severe. I'm really not thinking that's the big story here this evening and overnight and going into tomorrow morning. This might have a little bit of an impact on your morning commute, especially if you're headed out the door early. Futurecast shows this really getting out of here by about 6 o'clock or so. That took us back to 6 p.m. But you can get the general theme really between about now and sunrise tomorrow morning. We're going to see a few waves of rain push on through. And again, embedded areas of thunderstorms. Nothing overly crazy, nothing that we haven't seen before. So I promise you the world is not coming to an end. Just take a breather. I'm not expecting any tornado warnings tonight. Granted, we're always on guard for them. We're never going to totally rule it out. That isn't the forecast for tonight, though. Pushing you back to Futurecast, I'll let you loop on through, and I see many more questions about what's going to happen in my backyard. Pick out where you're on the map. I'll let this loop a little bit. You can see how Futurecast handles your location. A few rounds of rain, so between about now and 12 is when we're going to be tracking that first round. And yeah, we have a few severe thunderstorms out there right now, but they're more isolated in nature than they are widespread. We will see the rain increase in coverage as we head through the evening. I think the closer we get to sunset, the more we're going to be talking about rain here across much of the region. The coverage of these storms will definitely increase throughout the rest of the evening. Taking you back on over here to live radar, you can still see where we're tracking some of that, some of the nastiest weather right now. And again, if we just take a zoomed out look, you can see we have a scattering of storms all across the mid-Atlantic. But it's not it's widespread, but not everyone's seeing rain. If you're in Calvert County or St. Mary's County right now, you're not seeing much. Same in southern Anne Arundel County. Now, if you're in northern Anne Arundel or western Charles, you're getting heavy rain. And other locations, you're probably hearing the thunder. But we will see this coverage increase throughout the evening. So, again, between about 6 o'clock and now for that first round of heavy rain. Probably this first round has the better chance to have stronger thunderstorms. And then that secondary round, we'll call it between 2 and 6 a.m. Another round of heavy rain. The potential is there for flooding with that as well. That severe threat is definitely lower with that round just because we have very limited daytime heating to work with at 2, 3 in the morning. So I really want to emphasize that threat of flash flooding. So if you're traveling this evening, overnight tonight, early tomorrow morning before sunrise, expect to run into some travel issues, especially if you're headed to the north. That's really where we're talking the highest threat of flash flooding. But even in our region, like this area here in western Charles County right now, that's 301 points west. This is going to be an area that's going to have that potential to see several rounds of rain. And actually what I want to do, a little bit of an interesting look here. I'm going to take you on over here to our velocity. And this little storm in Nanjemoy's a little interesting. It's trying to do a little something. So we can see here on our regular version of radar, and I want to turn the lightning off. I know people like that, but that just kind of gets in my way a little bit. What we're noting here, at least a little bit, is this little guy trying to hook right here and a little bit taking some of that warmer air right in there. And what I'm seeing here is that's where we're generally getting that matching up of broad, maybe upper level rotation, maybe. And again, we're going to take a look at this from a few different angles. Yeah, so I would, a little bit of rotation with this storm in Nanjemoy. Nothing I think that would warrant a tornado warning at the moment, but this just goes to show that, yeah, that severe threat's low today, and that threat of a tornado was low today. I don't even think I've really advertised a threat of a tornado today. That highest threat's really back out across Ohio. With that said, though, we're always on guard for that. We're always aware. We always know what those tornado warning procedures look like. And I'm not forecasting that across the region, but it's a little storm over here towards Nanjemoy. Now I'm taking a closer look at it, seeing maybe just a little something here south of Route 6. And we'll see how this bad boy tries to track out here over the next little bit. And you can see on our high resolution radar here where you get these brightest reds and oranges matching up with these greens. I'm not seeing bright greens, which is good. It's just really these bright reds, which would indicate to me right now that any rotation is very loose and not something, we're really tracking super closely. Well, we're tracking it closely, but that threat isn't imminent. And the National Weather Service has yet to highlight that threat of a tornado with this storm. So right now we're sticking with that heavy rain threat with this, but again, we'll be aware, and I'll be here throughout the evening, and we'll keep an eye on it. But the general, if we zoom out here, let's take a general look at how these storms have been moving here over the last hour. You can see they're just kind of meandering a little bit. They're not really moving much. This storm over western Charles County, it literally has just been staying in the same 30-mile area for the last little bit. So we're going to, talk about that flash flooding threat. Our precip detector here. Yeah, over here in northern parts of Virginia, picking up on upwards of an inch or two of rain with this storm alone. We're starting to get those 1-inch values over here into Charles County as well. So we'll watch this as it continues to track here to the east. And I'm just checking our latest channels to see what's going on. I have been busy much of this week working on upgrades to the website and a lot of our radar tools and software and stuff. Hence, kind of the lack of updates on why the website is not currently live. So, that's what we've been working on today. I'm looking at a couple of different screens over here, just kind of taking a look at this storm. Because I wasn't exactly expecting it to look as good as it does on the, well, not good, but as impressive as it does. Yeah, I mean, we're talking, the rotation's really negligible at this point. It's kind of nuanced a little bit, but it's there. We'll see. We'll watch it. But again, this is to say, if you're anywhere else outside of Western Charles County, there is not much at all going on. I mean, it's hot, it's humid. I'm sure you hear the thunder out there thanks to that humidity. But if you're not in northern Anne Arundel, northern PG, or Western Charles counties, you're not seeing much. I mean, you're hearing probably the thunder, and you can see the dark clouds off in the distance depending on where you are. But those are the locations right now that have the heavy rain. We will see these storms continue to just meander a little bit slowly to the east. Again, the heavy rain is really going to be the biggest threat with this. So stay tuned. I'm here in the Weather Center. I'm working on a few things this evening, but I am here taking a look at radar, and we do now have, as we've been talking, a new flash flood warning for northern parts of Anne Arundel County that I want to get published here. And I'll do it live before we go. So, and the National Weather Service is tagging this with a considerable flash flood threat in northern Anne Arundel County, which I think just kind of speaks to the threat here of these storms to put down a lot of rain very quickly. And I will get you the details on this flash flood warning here in just a moment. And apologies for this delay. Facebook, yeah. It's one of those days. So for the 163 of you that have stuck around, thank you for bearing with me. All right, so the latest text here on this from the National Weather Service on this flash flood warning is that we have this flash flood warning for northern Anne Arundel, northern parts of PG County here until 9:45. Radar indicated thunderstorms producing heavy rain across this warned area there, shown in green. Upwards of 1 to 2 inches of rain has already fallen in this region, and an additional 1 to 2 inches of rain will be possible as the storm again slowly just meanders its way here to the north and east. Our social media channels are running super slow. This is the longest it's taken me to get a warning up. And it's just one of those days that I've just, nothing wants to work, which is annoying. My patience is just thin today. Yeah, let's come back down here to the south, down here towards Nanjing, and see what we have going on. Just look, bare bones. Hook doesn't necessarily look anywhere near as intense. Yeah, it looks like that was just a brief little whoop with the storm. And I do see Celestial is saying some hail in Angemon, and I would believe that given. Yeah, so what we can see here, again, turning this lightning off. Yeah, this yeah, that I think that was just a brief little spin up. You can see back here, or you really got like a concise area rotation, and now we're kind of just sheared it away. And again, the upper level dynamics today don't really support this idea of tornadoes or severe weather. You're probably going to see gusty winds and maybe a little bit of hail, but even that hail threat's going to be very isolated. The atmosphere is just super moist, and the atmosphere has a lot of water to work with. It's going to be able to throw down a lot of water very quickly. We see that up here to the north, and we're going to be tracking that probably with this storm down here in the Indian Head area, moving through Nanjamon, coming towards the Plata eventually. Again, this storm's moving at like 15 miles an hour. If I were to put a storm track on it, it wouldn't really even move. So yeah, like the worst of the storm right here, if we push this east at about 15. Yeah, so we're pushing this into the Plata around 712, but all in 722. So we'll continue to track all this. The latest information, again, always going to be on Facebook and Twitter. We'll continue to track this. Any new warnings pop out, I'll be back here with you live. Otherwise, I have plenty of things to be working on this evening, but I will continue to keep you updated on all of our social media channels. So have a nice and safe one. Keep it tuned right here to JB Weather for the latest, and I'll continue to keep you updated. In the meantime, though, Forecaster John Bordash, have a nice and safe one, and keep it tuned right here to JB Weather.
Check the forecast anytime online at jbweather.net.